Hello, 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 everyone. Happy OPEX Friday. How is everyone doing today? Good morning, Donald. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Sterling. I saw that. If Fannie Mae expects only one additional 25 basis hike, I think that's pretty much the baked in consensus. The thing that isn't baked in, though, is the cut cycle. Thanks for putting in all that news. Let's see what else we have. We got Charles in the house also. 1 in 4 Americans have no retirement savings. Wow, that won't be good. All right. Hey, Royal Palms. Let's just get going. Remember, 15 minutes after the cash open today is the S&P Global Manufacturing Composite and Services numbers. Everything expected to still be in expansion except for manufacturing. So I'm keeping an eye on that being the only real number. And the only real other thing is OPEX today. Then we got the rig counts, really only affects crude. And after the cash close, we got Fed's Cook speaking. I think that is the last, because they go into quiet period. Remember, it's the Fed quiet period. So they can't talk anymore. Thank you. And I was just glancing ahead. We have the PCE numbers next Friday, and then the following Wednesday we have the FOMC. So, by the way, just look at the FOMC. It's 84% for that rate high. I'm actually surprised that isn't higher at this point, but I think a number of people are waiting on the PCE, the S&P map, Amazon up. P&G was a beat. Interesting enough, this is why you should look at stuff. P&G was a beat. We'll glance at the chart real quick, but also they've increased their prices 10% and volumes down 3%. So they don't care about the volume, but they're just jacking prices and passing it along. So that's going to be interesting to see how long that stays up for. Basic materials down, healthcare, consumer defensive. So it looks like, at least based off this morning, it's a rotation into more defensive stocks. Remember, consumer defensive are not just defensive, consumer defensive stocks, they fall in that category. So does healthcare generally. Real estate's just holding up remarkably strong. Fear and greed still in greed mode. In terms of gamma, especially today, because OPEX, I'm really watching this 4150. We actually have a fair amount of put and call strikes right there. So traditionally, again, it's choppier. You get more reversals on OPEX days. Now, the last one was not, so it's not a guarantee. That's why I always say if it breaks key levels, look at the market internals also to see confirmation. But since we have a fair amount of put and call gamma, 4100s fair way off and 4200s a fair way off. So it'd be hard pressed. So I'm watching to see how we react around this 4150 area. As I mentioned, we had P&G. That's the only one I was really looking at this morning. And again, nothing after the close. Here's what's also interesting before I get to, you see here, if we jump down to the shorter term chart, let's just go. The 1 hour chart, look, we have support and key resistance. So if you're looking for stuff, well, what I'm watching 4157 and 4141, 4140 area. We get above 4157, your next key area, you have the breakdown zone and the reversal zone from yesterday, 4166. This is also why I'm leaning to choppier, because even on a rally up to 4166, even 4170, it could reverse back down. Dips 4140, even 4137. We can bounce back into here. So besides very short-term stuff, which this is, again, one of my least favorite trading days of the month. So unless there's fantastic stuff going on, it's sit on hands. You can see also, we're trading against a pretty key support area. This minor breakout area, which we retested yesterday, that's from a technical perspective, not just the lows of yesterday, but the high area from beginning of April, beginning to mid-April. and you rally up in here, even this 4170 area, it's the high area from the lows, you know, from last week. So, or this week. Good morning, Ted. Good morning, Options 22. Hey, John. Good morning, Paul. All right. Let's see. Let's see. So that's where I'm saying. I'm going to jump to PG real quick just to show you, because this was actually, PG does trade, but it's trading back to its highs of last December. So that's going to be real interesting with the strong earnings report. Nice little sideways correction. Rotation zone coming up to it, and we get the breakout to the upside. That's enough with that, though. NASDAQ still has the bigger double top, the weekly in place. We have some major support at this 13,000 area. So on any pullback today, I'm watching 13K. Not only is there a harmonic there, drip even to 12,990. A little push below there and a snap back above 13K. If we did break below that 12,925 is the area that would be in range of triggering that double. On rallies, resistance 13,072, then 13,100 to about 13,001. Let me see. Just go to about 13,100, and then if there's some minor significance in here. Minor. Where was that? Right there. 13,127 area. So those, again, this warrants a fair amount of choppy price action. You can see all the back and forth from the last few days. So not only with OPEX, it's just even price action favors more of chop. No guarantees, though. There are very few guarantees in the market. The Dow trading against a key resistance area right now. But here, we don't even have clear paths. This is why that clear path concept's handy. Because even on a break, let's say you break out above 33,976, 34.14, 34.56. There's lots of stopping areas, so you have to use very short-term price action to really help with stuff. Key support coming in about 33.8. Key resistance, I would say, about 34,050. This is just not set up from my perspective, for fantastic trading today. Looking at the Russell, 1810 resistance, short-term support from today, 1790 to 1792. By the way, the VIX, or did I send this to Bob yesterday? I don't think I put it in here. Hold on one second. Here you go. The VIX launching on Monday. There is a new VIX, 1 day. The VIX 1D. Somebody remind me to put this up here Monday. Whoever takes notes, remind me to put it in the list. VIX 1D starts trading April 24th. This is based off of 0-day option expirations. So this is going to jump around a fair amount. But we've been talking about the VIX being broken. Well, here, let me just see. Can I get, I'll just put in a placeholder. Will it let me? No, won't let me put in. So remind me on Monday. I can't really put in a placeholder. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Hey, Christoph. What else do we have? We have the DAX still actually hitting the area with the little wedge is done. But that gives us now a nice little breakdown point of 15,840. But then it's slamming into a breakout resistance and still in the rotation zone. 15,8, 15,795, and then 15,750. So, but I am watching for a possible pop back up today. The notes, again, we got the break of the high, follow through in the close with percent B and just moving on up on a continued rally, 115.09, 010 area. Dollar index still tried to pop earlier, rolling back down. Not really watch. See, if we do break down on here, it's got to be real nimble because I'm watching for the pullback between the 50 and the 62.5. But so far in the rotation zone, just a sideways movement with a little downwards pressure. Crude, little rotation back up with those cycles at the bottom. So I'll be watching for potential setups next week. Not much in natty gas. Gold, still, look at the buyers against the prior breakout level. So we still don't have this horribly sloppy head and shoulders because this is leveling out with a very flat shoulder. But I will still utilize those prices on pullbacks, but not triggered yet officially. It's confirmed, but not triggered. And it's just Mr. Yuck pattern at this point. Yen. Just pulling back to the prior breakout area and the rotation zone again. So the major support area, by the way, if this keeps dropping, would be between the channel and the 50% run up, about 132.40. Euro trying to still, this is again super, it still technically qualifies, but it's a really ugly pattern. It's triggered on the 4-hour. But we'll have to see if we get any follow through. There's just, I will be glad when this week's over. Pound, double top still in place, although we're starting to get extended on the side. Oh, I did get a placeholder. Let me move this up. Let me move this up so I remember. There we go. Bitcoin, not much. Back into consolidation. We'll be watching with cycles got back to the bottom for a pop, possibly next week. Tesla, I want to see if we trigger on the weekly below 163.91. Right now, there's a slight gap up, so it'd be the gap fill, but key resistance would be about 170 on any run up. And then if it broke above there, I doubt it get to 176, so I'd be using about 174.60, especially with wouldn't get chopped in this either, still being OPEX today. Let's get to the spiders and the Qs. That's the name of the game. Don't lose money today. Take the day off unless you have something a really good setup. 412, 12, 411, 88 would be to the gap fill. Resistance, let me take a look at the shorter term. This is just ugly. Oh boy. We're trading right at resistance into this, so then the next major resistance is at 413.50. Minor resistance is about 412.75. Key support is 410.30. And what's the low from yesterday? 410.27. And then about 409.45. Boy, yuck, yuck, yuck. Qs are 314.20. We have a slight gap down, very slight. So I'd be watching yesterday's low, 314.97. So 315, then 314.20. If it did break below that, 313 to the upside. Yeah. Major resistance up here at 319. Until then, I just have to use some. I'd use this 317. 317 would be my key price level up there. Check ACM if you have time. It looks like a good double top to me. ACN is a good double top. Yep. And a nice benefit is you have it into an advanced clear path move. So would not ignore that first target though. Some people like to ignore the targets, but I would definitely use it for stop reduction because that's a little breakout level and you see the reaction around there from before. So right around 270.83. You could just use 271. But that is, now it's at cycle bottoms, so this is the ones I like to be a little patient on today. We might get a pop, and then the key area for the breakdown zone would be here, 278. So I could watch for a pop even in the beginning next week for a rollover play. Apple. I don't know the news if something came out. 165.60 is the key little resistance area if you're trying to play this going into any rally if it tries to do a partial gap fill. I'm still watching for the bigger Apple potential double top pattern. And also remember, earnings not next week, but the week after for Apple. Well, I'm glad your short CAD has been great. Thank you for putting that in there. Sometimes I just don't have time to cover all this stuff. If you're looking the futures, the cash is this is the cash FX. It's the inverse of the futures. So when he says short, it would be the cash long. So yeah, it's got a nice little rally up there. Nice little rally up there. Next key target area would be 135.8. So cycles are getting to the top, so I would be raising stops on that pretty aggressively. With that, again, anybody know of anything on Apple? I'm just glancing over to one of my other screens. I don't see anything. With that, let me jump back because they have that little news feature here. No. Huh. I don't see much. No news. OPEX funny is that dropping use market minute. Oh boy. We shall see. Options 22. All right, I'm just going to keep this shorter and simple. I'll be back quickly after the close today. There's no point in harping on this given price action, OPEX. We've already gone through the key levels. Again, just don't do stupid today. That's my advice. And I will see everybody after the close. Bye for now.